Episode 72 of Multiplaying is brought to you by Sardo Noomspa's Instant Oatmeal. Start your morning off with these gold notes and
open the gates of hell.
Sardos, they're bloody good.
Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
Just want some chips.
Take these Tic Tacs.
Please. I want the knife.
I want the knife. And I want John to say, what you drinking, John?
I am drinking fiction once again.
No, you gotta say, I am drinking fiction.
Oh, I'm drinking fiction.
He did it.
Rare's with us tonight. What are you drinking, Rare?
Chocolate milk, actually.
With Chinese food?
Oh, that's weird.
Dude, I'm in a college dorm. This is the norm.
Wait, is it actual chocolate milk, or did you make the chocolate milk from syrup and milk?
It's like Dean's milk chugs. So it's like, you know,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could get a Sunkist, but I mean, that's probably not going to be much better.
Okay, Jason, weirder, chocolate milk and Chinese food or strawberry milk and Chinese food?
Strawberry milk would be weirder.
Okay.
There was one time I went to Subway once, and I just I really didn't know what I wanted when I went in there, and I got like the pizza, and I got a thing of cheddar sun chips, and I got a chocolate milk, and I left like none of this goes together like at all.
No,
and it didn't. I had to eat it all separately.
I'll just save you for later. Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk was the treat.
It was my dessert. What are you drinking though tonight?
Coors Light.
Awesome.
Goes with anything.
Even strawberry milk?
If you've drank enough of it, yeah.
Awesome. And I am rocking the Star Wars.
Oh yeah, are you?
That's my I think it's just going to be my usual drink now. So
I take full credit for this.
Take full credit for it, Rare. So I'll just say the usual, and it will be Star Wars, unless I say something else. So
we
go with that.
drank so much fucking Star Wars while we were gone.
I was reading the tweets of Shannon mixing up gallons of it. So
yeah, we celebrate the whole trilogy.
Awesome, John. What's up, buddy?
Not much. How about you?
Oh, not much here, man. Just same old shit. It's been a long time.
It has.
It's been weeks since we've podcasted. So first,
how much you've grown?
I know your facial hair is coming in so well. So John, what have you been playing?
I have been playing EVE Online still.
Really good.
Yep. Been really going along with that very, very much, and still loving it. I don't really know what to say because I mean I'm still, building up my skills and fleshing out the certificates and stuff like that. Yeah. But
still rocking that market.
Yeah, actually not as much. I've taken a long break from the market just because I kind of I saw how the market can kind of suck your life away.
It's a rat race, isn't it?
Yeah. But I did make some quick money, and that was nice. And I'll have to do that again if I'm ever, see myself wanting to spend something. Gotcha. But I am still loving that metagame though. That market, it's just I have to control myself from getting away from it. Otherwise, I won't actually be playing EVE Online. I'll just be playing the market in EVE Online.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So have you participated in any PvP? Because I know last time that you were on the show, you hadn't really done too much of that, or really you haven't gone followed Rare down the dark path.
Well, I don't think I'll be following Rare down the dark path yet. I still have not really done any PvP, although I did. I don't know if I said last time I'm in the EVE University now.
Oh, are you?
I don't remember if that was a subject of last time. I know
it was a subject, but I couldn't remember if you were actually in it or you were going to be in it. So.
Right, yeah. So I'm in. I've been in it for a little while, and it's funny, actually. I joined right after the previous war declaration ended, okay. And apparently EVE Uni kicked their ass. And then there was a new war deck, but it was only on it was a one-man corporation that decided to declare war on the entire EVE University.
Well, good for that guy.
Yeah, and his name is Minor Annoyances.
Spelled M-I-N-O-R or E-R?
No, minor
Okay.
annoyances. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's really funny because he war decked us, and Eve Uni was like, "Well, someone declared war on us, but it's just one guy, so just watch out." it was pretty much it. He was like, "Don't get complacent though, because a one-man corporation can easily turn into a 1,000-man corporation overnight, depending, or 100-man or whatever. If he made the corporation as a ruse, but in any case, so." But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. I've been doing a lot of missions, and actually, I've been teaching my dad how to play because he decided he wanted to play EVE Online.
No shit.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's more of a strategy type person, like RTS and stuff like that. The last game me and him had in common was Total Annihilation.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he still plays that.
Oh my god.
yeah, he still plays with a
They
group
boot
of
up
his
98 real quick.
Yeah, he plays with a group of his friends. That they all still kind of play each other and still experiment with random tactics. Because, I mean, it's an old game, but that game's designs were awesome.
It was a fantastic game.
And the physics that you could take advantage of were amazing. Anyway, but yeah, Eve on Eve. Yeah, so stick to that. But yeah, overall, very much fun. And I'm excited to be able to fly my battleship very, very soon.
Well, cool, man.
And other than that, I'm reinstalling League of Legends, but we'll talk about that next week.
Actually, we'll be talking about that a little bit, but not from your perspective, I guess.
Correct.
But, yeah. So we'll move on to Rare. Rare, what you been playing, man?
Hey, I've been playing lots of Cthulhu Saves the World, which is like something that Dean talked about 2 or 3 episodes ago. Excellent game. Definitely recommend that. But primarily still EVE Online, which Paz already went into, and then a little bit of League with you, which we'll maybe discuss later. But my game of the week would be Starcraft 2, which I've been playing a lot of. Great game. It was really funny because I don't know if Paz already knows this, but season 3 for StarCraft 2 started climbing the ladder with ranks and such.
Yeah.
So I had no rank, and I was like, well, I don't really feel like trying really hard, but I guess I should go do my place in the game. So I'm jumping in. My opponent's random. I'm like, shit, it's random. I suck at scouting. I'm really worried it's a Zerg because I hate playing at Zerg. So I jump in the game. I move my SCVs, and then 5 seconds of the game, he just leaves. And I just win. I get instantly back into platinum. I was like, well, that worked out.
Until you actually play somebody.
So I'm back in my division higher than I was last season, which is a little sad because I won in 5 seconds of doing no work. But a win is a win. And
You'll take it.
Exactly. So other than that, I've just been playing all sorts of really, really fun third-party maps, all sorts of tower defense games, survival games. One of my favorites is still by far Left to Die, which is kind of like Left 4 Dead, but in StarCraft 2. It's a very, very good map.
I think I saw someone tweet about that game the other day. How does that actually work in StarCraft? I mean, they said something about there being safe house kind of sections of the game. How does that really work?
Well, there's 2 editions. I think there's actually like a different third-party one that is more actually like Left 4 Dead, but this one specifically is actually made by Blizzard. And how it works is there's 2 players, and you're kind of in this little circular area. And when it's nighttime, a whole bunch of zombies come at you, and you have to, use tanks and whatever units you can to survive. And it's hard. Like, there are multiple different difficulties you can do. But what I do is I play with one of my other buddies, and we play it where it's literally Left to Die mode, where it's always nighttime. So that you never get a break. Like, you have no daytime to try and, regroup and rebuild stuff or get new units. It's just constant zombies going over and over and over. And it's really, really hard, but it's a lot of fun. It's a very challenging map.
So it's kind of like a Gears of War Horde mode sort of thing, but in StarCraft.
In StarCraft, exactly. That's a very good way of describing it.
Love that stuff.
It's lots of fun.
Sounds pretty fun.
Highly recommend it.
All right. Was that it for your StarCraft exploits?
Yeah. Other than killing my Eve court mates horribly, yes.
All right.
Killing your Eve court mates. Okay.
In StarCraft 2, man.
Oh, in StarCraft 2. Okay.
Yeah, I misunderstood that. I thought
I'm sorry.
he meant...
I should have clarified.
Because in Eve,
StarCraft.
it's possible to do that. So I didn't know if you literally meant that you...
That is true. That is true.
But they were playing StarCraft with you.
Exactly. And then I killed them.
In StarCraft.
In StarCraft.
So that you didn't have to in Eve.
Exactly.
All right. All right. Jason, what have you been playing?
let me think here. Lots of stuff. One I'll probably talk about is Bastion. So I don't know if we've really talked about Bastion.
We haven't. I'm not sure if it was even out when we did the last podcast, but I also picked that up.
Yeah, and I love that game. I don't know all your thoughts on that game. I know you kind of dug it, but I don't. That game is so good, and they just announced it's coming on Steam like really quick.
Yeah, the 16th of this month, August. I was kind of half like, well, maybe I should have just waited for the Steam version, but eh.
Yeah, I like playing that just laying on the couch.
Yeah, right.
It's well, I mean, it might be one I pick up later just to have it, but it's kind of hard to describe. It's a action-y RPG, kind of from an isometric view, so kind of top down, but really unique in its presentation. And you guys may have heard of it, but kind of what the hook is. But there's a narrator who narrates everything that you do, or nearly everything you do, and really impressive that he never repeats himself.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that is probably one of the things that sticks out for that game the most to me, is how unique that is. Like, I've never seen a game do that, and for one thing, but how well it works. Because going into it and hearing about the game before it was released, and hearing people talk about trying it out, and hearing that it was going to narrate as you performed actions, sounded like, my God, that's going to be like playing Madden NFL and hearing Madden say, "Oh, I put too much mustard on that," like 50 times in a game. And it would sounded like it was going to be super annoying, but it's amazing.
And they're really quick, little things that they say. And even when all the story is presented through him.
Right.
So, like, when your character would speak to somebody, he's telling what happened.
Yes. And nobody else speaks except for that narrator.
And what I really like about it is it's very quick. Like, when you get back to your Bastion, which is kind of like your hometown where you upgrade and do all these things and people talk, every time he speaks to tell you what's going on, it's no more than a couple sentences, and then it moves on.
And the guy that they got to do the voice work on that is just perfect for it. And it sounds, everything that he says, excuse me, sounds like he's reading a line out of a book.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, it's like, man, with his voice and the way he reads stuff, it's like, I want him to read me books before bed.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, is it Liam Neeson or Morgan
I don't
Freeman?
know who it is. It's
one of the guys who worked on the team. He's not a famous voice actor.
No, but he's got a really good voice. So.
And the game was made by a very small team. And I remember it was on my radar for so long because Greg Kasavin, who used to run GameSpot, who was one of my favorite reviewers ever, he's one of the guys who worked on it.
Oh, nice.
And the combat is really, really good, too. It's a lot of ways to upgrade things and combine different weapons. So you have two weapons and you have a special that you can upgrade and equip in between missions. And it's one cool thing. The narrator will kind of comment on how you do things. Like, if you grab two pistols, he'll be like the kid went in, with two barrels ready to go or something like that. And it's real. I really dig that whole part of upgrading the Bastion. I guess you could kind of compare it to the Assassin's Creed type upgrading your villa.
Loosely,
in a way. In a way.
That you have this home base and you upgrade it to get more abilities to do other things. So yeah. But the one thing about it that there's things that I honestly I'm kind of silent on it because there are a few things that I don't like about it, but there's larger reasons why I don't. But to its core, like, the controls are fantastic. I mean, it just feels very solid, and the actual act of the attacking enemies feels very good, and it's not an easy game.
No, it's not overly frustrating. It's a nice degree of challenge to it, exactly. I think. And you're right. One thing I kept thinking about, because the way that the world presents itself is it kind of fills in as you move. So there's a lot of ledges.
Lovely.
Yeah. It's really cool looking. And I didn't fall off them at all unless I kind of really realized I made a mistake, which I kept expecting to, but the controls are really tight to where that didn't happen.
The only reason I fall off is because there's that the dash move where you roll forward to get out of situations. Occasionally I would be pointing slightly the wrong direction and then just roll right off the freaking map.
Yeah, but that was your fault.
Oh yeah, it was totally my fault.
Shut up. But I'm not done with it. I'm pretty deep into the game. I would imagine I'm probably halfway through. But
I doubt that I'm even that far. I think I've got 5 upgrades to the Bastion.
okay, so you haven't gone through the second round of upgrades.
No, not completely.
Okay. No. It's I don't know. It's really neat. Definitely, if you have the 360, it's worth checking out the demo. And on Steam, hopefully there'll be a demo.
Because it was $15, right?
Yeah, $15, and I don't know how that would play with a keyboard. You might kind of need.
No, that's why I was like, because I have the gamepad on the PC now, I was like, man, if I would have known that it was just going to be coming to Steam so soon, I probably just would have waited and got it then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely feels like a gamepad sort of game. I don't know that I could play it with a keyboard and mouse. Not to say it wouldn't be able to be done, but it just wouldn't feel right to me.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm really, really enjoying it, and so far it's one of my favorite games this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, the only thing that plays it down for me is because one of my favorite games, like, of all time is Secret of Mana.
I never played it.
And in as far as the combat, it feels similar. It feels very updated, of course, but the actual act of combat, like some weapons you hold down to charge for a special attack, a lot of that feels very Secret of Mana to me. But there's a lot of depth in Secret of Mana with the way the weapons upgraded that I see the way that game handled it, and I like that better than I do Bastion. Not to say Bastion's bad at all, because like you said, you love the way that it's set up. I just because I'm comparing it to something else that I love so dearly, it's hard for me to see it at the same level. So
right.
But it is a fantastic game. I do not regret spending the $15 on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good, but all right. But then I guess that brings it to me. And I actually wasn't sure I was going to have anything new to talk about this week. Had been playing a lot of TF2.
But then a whole bunch of shit happened these last couple days.
Yeah, I know. I kept on like saying to Rare that, you know what, I should try out League of Legends again. I think I probably said that to him 2 or 3 times in the past month, but I finally did re-download the game and tried it out again, mostly because of peer pressure. There's always people on Twitter hashtagging the hell out of League of Legends and seemingly having a lot of fun. And I'd only tried the game once ever, and it was months back, and I played one game with like some of you guys, I think, and I thought it was okay. Like, to its core, I thought it was kind of boring, but I was like, it's okay. I didn't really see what the whole hubbub was about. But no, something fucking hit me this time around, though, because I am just loving it. I'm still trying to figure out what champion I want to play, like full-time if you were, or more hardcore if you were. But I am absolutely digging it. And I know, Jason, you've been playing it too.
Yeah, and I actually bought the game when it first came out, or not long after it came out, and I had played with John a little bit because I know he was into it before, and I could never get into it either. And one of the things, I actually had downloaded again a few weeks ago just to try it because I wanted to get back and give it another go because I know they've added a bunch to it. And what really impressed me with what they added was the more advanced tutorial stuff.
Yeah.
I don't, they have that battle tutorial now. That wasn't there from what I recall before. It was just this first tutorial. Yeah.
The whole interface of that UI, like for playing the game and visiting the store and stuff, is totally different from what I remember, and it is a ton better. Like going through your masteries and your runes and stuff, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and the thing that I really liked about the new tutorial was, because I always had trouble with the timing of when to approach the towers, when to go after a champion when he's retreating, and the voice actor or the person would kind of tell you you're in danger like every time that happened, and that would be a cue to me to move out. So after playing that tutorial, I felt a lot more confident in going into a match and knowing when to push a lane and do all that stuff, when to retreat. And also, I don't think this was the co-op versus AI stuff. That wasn't there before, was it?
Nope.
Yeah, that's awesome too. That's mostly how I've been playing that and some custom games just to level up, and that's a great addition because you don't have to deal with people shit talking to you as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely do that for sure.
It seemed like you guys have joined at a really good time too, because that new map is coming out, so we're gonna have a fresh start there. Yeah, so you guys can enjoy that.
Looks good too.
Now, do you think they named it Dominion so it could be LOL'd? Because I was thinking it's either that or
That's
Zenith.
clever. That's clever.
Zenith?
Yeah,
Lols.
so it'd be lols.
Lols. That would be. I hope the next one is Zenith. That would
I
be
did not
really
even
good.
think of that. That's clever.
But yeah, I'm digging it. I'm not sure what else to really say about it. I'm still horrible at it. I've won 1 game out of 5 or 6 now. But
You're doing like pugs, right? Like versus,
yeah,
right?
I've not done any tutorial. So
See,
I'm
we
probably done.
should do some co-op versus AI or something like that.
Yeah,
probably
we
should,
should.
yeah.
We should do that to just learn which champions we like to play.
Yeah, I've been just testing out champions and stuff to see which one I liked, and I've got a good so far a good solid like 3 that I've been rotating.
And I knew one of them was Gangplank, but who else?
Is it Fizzlesticks?
Fiddlesticks.
Fiddlesticks. And then I actually, I just found one earlier. I think he starts with an I. He's a kind of melee healer type guy.
Tarek?
That might be it. Yeah, it's Tarek.
Tarek the Gem Knight?
Gem Knight Paladin dude?
Yes, yeah.
Awesome
Which I liked
champion.
him just for survivability. He seemed really good.
Big fan.
Yeah.
I am actually becoming a huge fan of Nasus.
one
Thanks
is
to
that?
Rare. I've been switching
Oh yeah,
around.
Nasus is awesome.
Yeah, but I was actually questioning him earlier today and last night because it didn't feel just right to me. But I actually bought the iPad app. It was the League of Legends library, and basically has like a compendium of all the champions and their abilities, and has a video for each one.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's got like all the, I believe it has all the items and stuff. I just got it tonight, so I haven't really messed with it too much. But I was watching the video that was in there for Nasus and the guy's walkthrough of it, and he actually, because I'm horrible at the game and I'm new. I didn't realize that the main ability, the Soul Siphon, whatever it is, I didn't realize that it has a add-on ability if you kill an enemy with that strike.
Yeah. With
And I was
immediate
like,
last hits
oh!
on the creep. Yep.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that would probably help my game immensely, so I cannot wait to get to play tonight and try that out.
Definitely. That'll help you out a lot.
I'm
I
just
think
talking 'cause
I
I'm
think
wasting
I
time.
played for like a year before I discovered that I really loved Malphite. You know,
Yeah.
Still playing Ability Power Malphite?
Well, I haven't played in like about 8 months, so
we need to fix that.
yeah. Well, I did finally. I'm doing my mastery pages and stuff now, but yeah, I mean, I did love Ability Power Malphite because it was so broken. I don't know what it's like now, as so much has changed, but it was it was
Ridiculous.
something that was so unexpected because Malphite is an armor tank. So everyone expects you to do armor because when he stacks armor, he gets magic damage bonus. And when you stack ability power, it only strengthens his shard, snare, and his ultimate. And he becomes a glass cannon. But what a glass cannon he was. Holy, because the ability power ratio was like 1.2 or something like that, which is like retarded. Because every single, anyway, it was ridiculous. I was like two-shotting tanks, it was just like ultimate shard, tank down. And then shard the caster, he was almost dead. Slam, then there, it was just like, it was ridiculous.
Stupid damage. Just stupid.
It was stupid.
Damage.
They probably changed it, but it was good times while it lasted.
One of the things that I've been noticing about the way which characters I like, and the Tarek kind of doesn't fit this category, but I like the ones who have that special that's like a big oh shit moment, like Gangplank or I think Annie the mage, to where
Tibbers.
or you target an area, and like that. Like I like having that where Tarek's kind of more of a, you use it more often because it recharges less, because it's just kind of powering up your attack speed and healing. But that's like one reason I like Gangplank is those oh shit, group them up together and make something happen. Really really cool. That's characters I like.
Even though Nasus isn't as oh shit, but he kind of like changes he gets a little bit bigger and he changes his coloring and shit.
Oh yeah, when he turns into the deity.
Yeah, when he turns into the deity and it's like this, everything around him he can like suck the life out of basically. But I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly how it works, but believe it also increases his run speed. But I was chasing somebody down earlier today, and I kind of had that. I was like, kept on like trying to slow them and hit them with my AOE, and then I hit that thing. And they had just a sliver of life left. I'm just like, I'm fucking coming for you.
Why not?
They had to be shitting their pants because there was no way they were getting away from me.
See,
awesome.
There you go. That's why League of Legends is awesome. It's just
yeah. It's funny because like you guys were saying, the first time you play is always like kind of. Well, the first time is almost disorienting. The very first game. Because you're like, okay, how does this interface work? What do the champions do? All these things, and
there's a lot of shit.
Yeah, it's deceptively complicated.
Yes.
It looks so simple. The interface in the game looks so not difficult, and then you go to play the game.
I'm playing an RTS.
Yeah, then you go to play the game, and you're like, what the hell is going on?
And I think that's what really threw me off in that first game. Like what you're saying is that I was playing it like it was something simple.
Yeah.
And it felt boring to me, and now I realize, you really have to play this more. This is probably a bad analogy, but you almost have to play it more like a fighting game.
Well,
No, that's not a bad analogy at all.
But that's exactly what the classification for the game is. What is it? Multiplayer online battle arena. It's a MOBA.
Yeah, something like that.
That's actually what they classify it.
Because it's like an RTS
like
up until the point. Yeah, it's like an RTS up until the point where you're engaging in a fight with someone. Then it's like you have to combo these people correctly so that you can either get away from them or attack them and kill them.
Or know how to counter them and such and such. It's
it's
easy to
really
learn,
tricky.
hard to master.
Yeah. But I like it. I'm enjoying it. See how long I stick with it. I love that it's free. So
You can jump back in whenever.
Exactly.
What is that smell? Oh.
That's the smell of desire, my lady.
God, no, it smells like a used diaper filled with Indian food. Oh, excuse me.
Desire smells like that to some people.
And we're going to move on to the news. A couple quick bits. Not really gaming related, more multiplaying and real life stuff related, but it is probably more important than anything we talk about in the show. First off, I'm pretty sure he listens, but I know we talk to him a lot on Twitter. Blameful Gecko. I know he's a Steam friend of like Jason and mine, probably Rare and John as well, but
owns every game ever made.
Owns every fucking game ever. We have contests occasionally at night. We'll go through like random games online and see if either Dean or Blameful Gecko owns the game, and I would say Blameful Gecko probably wins that. But yeah, he's getting married tonight. He's by the time we're recording, he probably is married. We just wanted to say congratulations, Blameful Gecko. That's
hooray!
Awesome.
Congrats.
So
you're not going to be able to buy every game anymore.
No more gaming ever again.
Yeah. But then what sometimes naturally comes after marriage is actually the topic of the next bit of news. If you're a long-time listener, Maeve, who has been on the show from time to time, she has one of the best giggles that we've ever had on the show. She was pregnant and had her baby, and her baby is beautiful. So congratulations, Maeve, on the baby.
Yay!
From all of us at Multiplaying. So make sure you save this MP3 and let them listen to it later.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
And now we're going to get into last week's question, which was actually 3 weeks ago's question. If you remember, it was would you play an MMO if there were no rewards? And furthermore, what is fun in an MMO to you? And we got a lot of responses from various forms of social media. Real quick, go through the Twitters. The first one is from Zellybelly, otherwise known as Shannon. If you, again, long-time listener to the show, you would know. She says from Twitter, the basis of MMOs is reward. Loot, levels, advancement are all rewards for what you put in. That carrot keeps it going. Next up was Bo Hinman, who writes for Massively. He twittered, most of the games I play hardly have rewards anyway, but still, it depends. I like some direction occasionally. And then next is Winanoid, who says, play with no rewards sounds like beta testing. Seriously, I play for the fun of tackling tough content with a team. And then speaking of beta testing, I'm not sure how you say his Twitter name. Is it just MDrNHL?
Hurdler.
Mahurdler.
Hurdler. It's like the Murlocs from WoW.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Otherwise known as a Ruth.
Yes, also known as a Ruth if you go on the forums. He says, "What beta testing saved me from wasting money on war? I call that a reward."
Sour.
Sour. But then we only got one email, but that's not the end of these. But the email is from Scott. He says, "Just want to throw my 2 cents into the mix regarding your question of the week. I personally would not play an MMO if it didn't have some sort of character progression. A big part of what drives me to keep playing is that carrot on a stick. Drooling over the next skill, talent, or item, and working towards that goal is motivating to me. The second part of the question is really kind of rolled up into the first. Attaining those small goals that I have been drooling over is fun for me, but really the enjoyment I get out of those types of games comes from playing the most needed classes. I remember back in the days of Dark Age of Camelot, playing an Ice Wizard, go Albion bitches, in quotes, or in parentheses.
Represent.
Represent! If you remember, Ice Wizzies were PBAOE class that were almost useless solo, but when paired with a tank and healer, would wreck house in PvE and PvP. So thank you, Scott. Then, most of our answers actually came from Google+. I just, on a whim, threw it on there to see if we could get some more responses, and we got a bunch. So I'm probably, if I offend you, I hope to not offend you, but I'm probably only going to read some of the responses to save for time, because there were a lot. The first I'm going to read off was from Robert Anderson. It said, "This is a good question, one that I'm sure you will have varying answers to. As an aside, I see rewards being added to all sorts of games, not just MMOs, such as FPSs, take Call of Duty and Battlefield. There was a time when you would join multiplayer servers and battle other players because overcoming the challenge of real humans was a reward in itself. Now those games have basically added levels and loot. I wonder if this trend says something about the culture of the ever-growing pool of game players." Next we have a message from Chris, otherwise known as Scopeak on Twitter. He runs levelcapped.com. He says he's never played for loot, although I have spent some moderate time chasing vanity pets. These games are all geared, pun intended, to use loot as rewards, but that doesn't mean everyone wants loot as a reward. Look at Stargrace's massive collection of player-written books in EverQuest 2. Okay, many qualify as loot, but they're also unique and are kind of metagame. When players can create their own value in a game, even if it's within parameters like EQ2's books or Star Wars Galaxy's individualized crafted products, then I think you're going to get a lot of people playing who are looking for more than just loot. I think I'm actually going to skip the rest of them and ask you guys, since this is the time when we do that. Okay, would you guys... I'll start with John. Would you play an MMO if there were no rewards?
I guess that would kind of fall under a lot of what different people said, was depending on what were the people consider rewards, you know?
Right.
So if you're talking about...
the question that got asked the most after I started asking this question was, what do you consider a reward?
Right. So if you consider the monetary rewards of having like the best gear, things like that, like the next skill and things like that, that really doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. I really play for the social aspect and the like one person said, feeling needed, you know,
right.
Playing something that people need to have in the group. So right. At the same time, if a game is not rewarding in any way, whether it's monetary or emotionally or whatever, mechanically, then you wouldn't play it at all anyway. That's why people quit MMOs in the first place.
Yep. But so, you're tempted to play the market game in EVE, though.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, there is a reward to that, and it's the in-game money is the reward, and I have yet to really spend the money that I've earned. But it's just a matter of being able to multiply that money should I need it. You know, I mean, there's not really I don't know. It's really hard to describe because you have to kind of classify the reward that you're talking about.
But I think the more important side of the question is probably what you find fun in MMO, and you kind of already answered that by saying that you like the social aspect, which I tend to agree with that. I like the loot, but I've never really been a min-maxer.
It's like, okay, I played Diablo 2 for one reason, to item hoard. That's it. That's what people play Diablo 2 for, to item hoard, to kill mobs over and over and over again, to get the most important badass piece of loot. And, you know, good on them for doing that. But I play MMOs to actually socialize with people and be needed.
Right.
You know? So,
cool.
I don't know.
Jason, how about you?
Oh, I'm gonna say flat out no. I wouldn't play.
You would not. You like the reward?
Yeah, I mean, like you guys are all right, but I have to have something. I play a lot. I'm like solo in these games. I have to always think what's going to keep me going like that. And yeah, the definition of reward varies a lot. I really like.
But if
PvP.
we were just to define it as for the instance of the question as the loot and the advancement of character.
Advancement of a character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's if I don't have that, I'm not going to play long.
Gotcha.
And I definitely like the PvP. You know, I like it to be balanced because I like PvP and MMOs, but it has to not completely break the game.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the hard thing is that the loot. One of the comments, the discussions that I got into with someone was that MMOs are very based on the loot. I mean, that's kind of what they've been built to. There's a lot of other games that I play that has nothing to do with loot, like Team Fortress 2. I mean, there are extra items and stuff in the game, but I just play that game because I enjoy trying to be better than the next guy.
But that's a good example, and I keep thinking of it because that has a bunch of, hats. It also has abilities, has things. But a lot of them, you don't need to feel like you can matter.
Right.
And I wonder if MMOs should adapt something a little bit like that. It's like, you're not just getting loot to upgrade your stats and everything, but these give you a different option of what you need to, of what you can do and how you can play the game.
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point indeed. It's not about just being stronger, it's about playing it differently. So yeah, that's awesome. Rare, how about you?
I'm more inclined to go along with Paz. Because if you had asked me 3 years ago, I probably would have agreed with Jason because that was when I predominantly played WoW, and all I really cared about was loot and progression. But now that I'm playing Eve a lot more, even if there was no character advancement in Eve, I would still play Eve because I don't play Eve to advance my character. I play Eve for the PvP, the politics, the drama, the rage. That's why I play Eve, for the interaction.
For
that's
other
why
people's rage, not yours, right?
Both.
Oh.
the metagame around Eve, and I know I keep talking about this all the time, but it's just something that's so unique and incredible that it goes past the game itself, and it's just about people either hating other people or loving other people or whatever. It's just all social. So even if there were no rewards in Eve, even if it didn't matter if you were a day one or a 5-year-old character, I would still totally play the game for that reason alone.
Yeah, because it centers around the community rather than centering around the carrot.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with the carrot. I mean, yeah, it helps in battles, but not that much.
We fight over carrots because it gives us a reason to fight, but we would probably kill each other anyway just because we can.
Yeah, even if there was no carrot, it'd be like, well, how come we don't have carrots? I don't know, kill Rare! It's like, it doesn't matter. I don't know. But that might be something that I've also kind of felt like more strongly because I used to care very much. Like I said, I played Diablo 2 a lot. A long, long time, and all you care about there is the reward. Every time you kill a boss, you get a reward. Might not be good, but you got something.
See, I'm kind of wondering how this is going to play out for Star Wars. I was as you guys are talking, I'm thinking about that because I'm kind of in between what everybody else is saying. I like the rewards and I like the social aspects. I'm kind of unsure if I would play it without there being any reward. But besides that, I wonder what we'll gravitate to in Star Wars: The Old Republic, because even though I'm sure it's going to be a pretty loot-heavy game, when I look at that and when I look forward to it, especially, I'm not looking forward to the gear grind.
I'm not either in that game. I'm looking forward to the story.
Right.
Yeah, and I've already said in the forums before where I know that even if SWTOR is a bad MMO, I'm going to end up playing it as a single-player game.
Yeah, and there's all those single stories, so that's a lot of gameplay.
Yeah, supposedly 200, so let's just round it down to 150, just to be safe. 150 hours per character of unique storyline. Yeah, that's still a shit ton of... Yeah, even if you cut it in half, 100 hours, that's a lot of time. So, I know that is about the character progression reward, not even caring about the loot.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll drop you with a question for next week before we go. The one that I'm asking you this week is, what MMO trope do you want to see go away? Is there something that you are absolutely sick of in MMOs?
That's a good question.
What do you mean trope? What the hell are you talking about?
Can we only give one answer? I could probably make a list.
Probably just one, like your biggest one that you want to, just something that every MMO seems to do, or most standard ones seem to do. Any of the types of MMO that you play, what trope do you want to see go away? So, again, email us at multiplaying@gmail.com. You can Twitter us with your answer at it's just twitter.com/multiplaying. And I will be asking it through my account on G+ and probably on Facebook. And
so those of us that don't have really awkward, strange vocabularies, what the fuck is a trope?
Just use a Star Wars metaphor.
It's just a Star Wars metaphor. It's one that if every Star Wars did something in an episode, like if it did it over and over and over.
It's like one of them saying, "This is where the fun begins," or something.
Are you talking about the one-trick ponies that people use?
Yes.
Kinda, yeah. If it's something that's rehashed over and over and over.
I think that's become standard.
It's cliche.
Oh.
It is a mechanic or something that is cliche.
Oh, fuck.
Think of it as like an internet meme, but in
oh yeah, no, I got you. I already know what it is. Yep. Global fucking cooldowns. Fuck you. Seriously.
Okay, well, we'll answer it next week or next time. All right.
Food for thought.
That is all. That is all. Bye.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
Show's over, folks.
You can't go. All the plants are going to die. Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.